Yeah, we on Boss Talk TV. Shout out to E. He the reason you see me.
We continue to follow breaking news. Civil rights activist and two-time presidential candidate Jesse Jackson has died at 84.
His family sharing that he passed peacefully this morning. 10 on your side's Kagan Hughes joins us live from the control room with more of what his family is saying. Kagan.
Yeah, good morning, Katie, Kiana. He was best known for his activism working alongside Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. In the statement from his family, it says Jackson died peacefully on Tuesday morning surrounded by his family. His unwavering commitment to justice, equality, and human rights helped shape a global movement for freedom and dignity. Jackson was admitted to a hospital last November and was living for more than a decade with progressive supranuclear palsy. He was familiar with Hampton Roads, making stops in 1983 for the Norfolk Busing March and back in 2017, stopping at Norfolk State University to talk to students about voting. Reverend Jesse Jackson ran for the Democratic presidential nomination in 1984 and 1988. The cause of his death was not immediately given. The family statement says public observances will be held in Chicago. Live in the control room, Kagan Hughes, 10 on your side.
Wow, guys. Breaking news. Jesse Jackson passes away, man. 84 years old, man. This is one right here, man. It's, dear to, I see right now, his family, everybody is concerned. But they seen it coming. So he got sick a few months ago, and we reported on that. OG, you there?
Oh, yes, sir.
OG, it's something else, but man, life, it comes and it goes, man. It's it's a time to live and it's a time to die, Ecclesiastics say. And it's just like, this stuff is coming for everybody. So at the end of the day, ain't no getting around it. You got to go through it. So, but Jesse, man, they showing a lot of different pictures of Jesse Jackson, man. Some of the things that he done while he was on earth, stuff that he done and things that he was able to accomplish, running for president in 1984, running for president in 1988. I remember when these things happened. OG, reflect a little bit. I know you'll be a little bit more keen on it than I would be, being that you was a little older than I was when all this stuff was going on. What were some of the things that I remember him dying by, he's standing by Martin Luther King when the shot rang out, all kind of stuff.
Yeah, he was part of the conspiracy. When he started with Operation Breadbasket back in the 60s, he was one of the first semi-revolutionary preachers when he started Breadbasket. And he had a long run, but, you look at him, he passed this morning, and Robert Duvall passed yesterday, and he was 95. He lived to 95, and Jesse didn't live but to 84. A black man's life is cut so short with everything that he does, and he tries to extend his life, and 84 ain't a long time.
Wow. I sit back and watch some of the reports coming through, some of the pictures that was being shown at a lot of the dinner functions, but the most popular one was when that day, that picture when Martin Luther King was assassinated, and it was like, wow, like he was standing right there, or when they was together doing something, whether it be something for one of the meetings they was having or whatnot. But it was always a time that he was right there with Martin Luther King and doing, the activist work that they would set out to do together. When you look back at a lot of these different things that transpired during these guys' lifetime, and you look at today, and I always tell you, hey man, the needle moved a little bit, or whatever I think of to say when it come down to these guys doing all the stuff that they were doing, and the stuff that also Malcolm X, Nation of Islam, all these different things was transpiring. There was all type of different groups trying to figure it out during the civil rights movement. When you think of what they done during those times, is this something that they just had to do, or is this something they chose to do when you see them marching and doing all the things that they were doing?
Well, at that time, you know, it was a movement. And a lot of those guys, they started out with good intentions, but they say good intentions are filled up in the graveyard. And they started off with those intentions, and when they find out that they can't save Black America, they sell out and start working for white folks. And you know, they say if you can't say nothing good about somebody, you shouldn't say
Anything at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a dying day. So, you know, the Reverend Jesse Jackson, it says in USA Today, a towering civil rights icon who battled alongside with Martin Luther King Jr., negotiated global hostage release, and shamed corporations for their lack of corporate diversity and failure to support voting rights, has died. He was 84. Jackson was hospitalized on November the 12th following a lengthy fight with the what is that, neuromuscular disease, progressive. Yeah. What is that? What does that do to you, though?
It eats up your. It start working on his muscles and his other one. His mouth. You know, he always looked like he had a stroke. He had a stroke a long time ago, but neuromuscular disease starts eating away at your muscles, and he'd been bedridden for a while.
Wow.
So,
wow. He was released from the hospital later that month. Remember, we reported on him a month or so ago. Jackson was a Presidential Medal of Freedom recipient, a Democratic president candidate, and one of the world's best known Black activists. That's what they're writing in USA Today. It is with
long run.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's as much as I speculate for a Black man to have to stand up and endure everything that goes on here in this environment and the changes that you had to see. And he's seen more than I did. And the tolerations that you have to put up with, it's a struggle. And, I wouldn't have wanted to take his job at all, for the things that he's did. And just people like myself, you start off with, like I say, good intentions, and then the same Negroes that didn't endure it, they criticize you about it,
Yeah.
So here we go again. We talk about how we're the first one to indict each other. So let me refrain. And Jesse Jackson, as a Black man, did as much as he could to save Black America. But they say no man is an island unto himself.
Real talk. Say, it is with profound sadness that we announce the passing of civil rights leader and founder of the Rainbow Push Coalition, the Honorable Reverend Jesse Jackson, Jesse Louis Jackson Sr., says statement from the organization on Instagram. He died peacefully on Tuesday morning, surrounded by his family. Despite the illness that softened his voice and weakened his steps, he had continued to advocate for civil rights and was arrested twice in 2021 over his objection to the Senate filibuster rule. The same year, he and his wife, Jacqueline, were hospitalized with COVID-19 complications at Chicago Hospital. So he had a lot of stuff going even all the way up until the end, somewhat. 2021 wasn't that long ago, but he tried as long as he could. I agree with you, OG. He had a long run when it come to what he, posed to do. You know what I mean? And I think that's something to be proud of. His family can be proud of, and his children can look back on it and see that he had something going while he was on this earth. I think that's what it boils down to at the end, is that what did my father represent? What did my grandfather represent? What did what was he? What was he about? And I think this is the thing that you know, you have to look at when it come down to his memory, because most of the time people, you know, once they done with you, they done with you, they move on to something else. But family, they keep those pictures hanging up on the wall. So they reflect more than anybody else. And I think that's the thing that he should be proud of, that they'll be able to look at his legacy and feel great about what he was able to accomplish.
I mean, and as you say, how many of us are going to die and nobody know anything about us?
That's right.
We haven't done anything, but we can sit and criticize about the people is not doing enough. But what have we done? When the period comes to your name, what will it say about you? You know. So
that's real.
That's the awakening for Black America. When you look at Jesse Jackson, no matter it good or bad or indifferent in whatever I think happened, or if some of us will say he sold out, but at least he was in the race and stood up for Black America at a time. And when he left up out of here, you know, just call my name. But a lot of us gonna leave here and nobody know you. But we had all these bad opinions. We did a gang of cell soldiering, but we never made a move. Malcolm used to call them closet revolutionaries. You know, if that was me, I would be out here doing this, but it could be you.
Wow. Yeah, that's absolutely right, man. We have to acknowledge the things that people try to accomplish, even though they may have a right aim or a wrong aim, just subjective, but they got an aim. They doing something. Some people exist and don't do anything. Won't even try. If something happens, they don't even go, you know? And I think that says a lot. But they, you know, we sit back and we look at everybody else's movement. But I mean, with the mental ability that they have and the heart that they carry, this may be all that they have to offer, you know, but they gave it their all. Verse in the Bible comes to mind, say, I fought a good fight. I finished my course. I kept the faith. You want to fight a good fight in life. Because if you fight a good fight, you gave it all that you could give it. You did all that you could do. And that's the part where you have to reflect back as a person, a man or a woman, or whoever it may be, and say, man, did I fight a good fight? Did I do everything in my power to do what I wanted to do and be who I could be to make a difference in everybody's life that I affected? I think that's important. At some point, you have to take a panoramic view of your life and start to figure out, what did I do with this life that God gave me? Did I use it up? Did I do it the right way? Was I taking care of business with the people that I was impactful on? That's the stuff you have to reflect on. That's all you got in the end is a memory. That's it. And so how do we capitalize on being the best we can be in life that we're given? That's big.
Yeah.
So
a great man, a great white man that said something that was so prolific. It was a mistake made in World War II, and the president brought in General Patton, right?
Yeah.
And he asked General Patton, what happened, right? And General Patton said something that echoed over the world that you talked about in college and is talked about in literature. He said these simple words: it's better to make a wrong decision than no decision at all.
Wow. Profound. That's it, man. Like do something. That's what he's saying in layman terms, in case y'all didn't get it. Do something.
Jackson did something, and he did something multiple times. Whether it was wrong, right, or indifferent, he did something. Wow, man, guys, this here comes breaking news. Jesse Jackson passes away at 84 years old. You guys will see it all over the place today, guys. Y'all, shoot, if you drink, pour out a little liquor. If you basically a person that's spiritual, give him a moment of silence. Whatever you do to cope when someone passes on, y'all do that for Reverend Jesse Jackson today. He'll truly be missed, guys. This is huge. Yeah, today is the first day of Ramadan,
Oh, okay.
February the 17th. Yes, sir.
All right, and then y'all heard what OG said. Okay, guys, and if you're still watching, guys, Jordan and 50 Cent goes back and 50 Cent goes at Jordan about them shoes. I'm not gonna wear them if you don't get your stuff together. Y'all can check that out right here. Me and OG them talked about it last night. Boss Talk 101 review.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk TV. Shout out to E. He the reason you see me.